Alright, so for my project, I am going to be doing a social issues project. I know kind of the idea behind this was a lesson plan, but I decided to take that idea and make it something a little bit bigger. I didn't break it out exactly, day by day what I would do, but kind of I ended up making the project itself. And I will be given this project in a couple weeks. Um, so, whenever I talk a little bit about the due dates, they are definitely not set yet because I have to figure out when those due dates are going to be. But my class that this is for is a gifted class, ninth grade, English, and the whole story will be based around, or the whole project will be based around Glass Castle. So with that, the purpose of this project is for the students to really get an idea of the community and the social issues and the service issues that the community is facing, and the Fulton County Alpharetta community, preferably the North Fulton community because that's where all these students live. Whenever I first proposed this project to the class and to my administrator, the idea of doing a global issue, I really liked, but I really wanted them to be able to at least have the opportunity to maybe enact change within their local community and kind of see the issues that are right around in our community. So with that, this project is going to be based around that idea of what issues are going on in our community. They're going to have to invest time in really digging into this issue. Once they pick that topic. So the time span again is 1 month. Um, we will start it somewhere around the beginning of November or start the process, and probably after Thanksgiving break is whenever these will be due. Those first couple weeks of December to give them a full month to really explore and decide on a topic and dive deep into the topic. So the first thing they're going to have to do, they're going to have to pick a local community issue. I'm going to kind of talk with some teachers, counselors, administrators that they could go to see what kind of issues are going on in the community if they can't think of one themselves. I don't like just making a list and saying pick from these. I want them to really think about think about having to go to different people than me or just picking from a list to reach outside the box. I'm going to make them write a research question because every semester we have to do some sort of research for our topic or for our grade, and this is going to fall under their research project as well as their major assessment for the Glass Castle that the Glass Castle unit. So they're going to have to write a research question. I'm going to do a mini lesson on research questions and kind of what they look like and what the purpose of them are. And then they're going to have to conduct the research on their topic. And, if they can find local information on their topic, if they can find statistics or articles or even news articles, any type of source, interviews, uh, anything like that at a local level, that'd be fantastic. But I'm also going to open it up to a national state level just as an overview. So if they want to look at let's just take like a humane society, so the stray dogs in Fulton County, or we can even narrow that down to the North Fulton County where the Milton Humane Society is. They could look at statistics of the amount of stray dogs in the state, or I'm sure you could find stuff on the website to really look at the amount of stray dogs and what are they doing to combat that issue. the local level, they are going to have to craft an action plan. This is one thing that my administration really, or my administrator really wanted, me to focus on, um, is that the plan must be realistic and attainable to the ordinary person. So to take this action plan though, and to do something more than just make the action plan. So instead of, saying this is what you need to do, step 1, 2, and 3, they need to pick 2 points of the action plan to complete. And let's just take the Humane Society example. So we could take, and the students could go and volunteer, which would be a part of their action plan. So in order to better help, they need more volunteers at the Humane Society. So they could go and volunteer at the Humane Society or Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, or the homeless shelter, whatever they need to do. Volunteering can be a part, but I can't require it as an option. They're going to keep a process log on, or a progress log on Google Docs, kind of like we did for this, I believe. And every time they do something with the project, whether that be volunteering, that be part of their action plan, or that be crafting the action plan, I'm going to want them to log it and talk about what the kind of what was the purpose of them working on that part. And then another part is going to be, they're going to have to create a multimodal public service announcement about their topic. It has to be 30 seconds long, and it's going to have to introduce us to their topic in that 30 seconds using the ideas of rhetoric, which I will do another mini lesson on during this time, to help them understand kind of what these public service announcements are meant to do. And then once they complete the public service announcement, they'll have to jot down their intent of the video. So what message are they trying to say? Why do you think this message will receive this way? And what video components occur within this message? So they're going to have to think about the intent of making that video. And then they're going to have to workshop the public service announcement through VideoAnt before publication. So kind of like a writing workshop, but they're going to do it through VideoAnt. Scott asked a question on the initial one that talked about, is this the only service I'm gonna let them use? And for this case, yes. And that's for multiple reasons, personal and for this case. But so far, VideoAnt is the best service I've seen that allows them to really annotate the video. They're also going to have to create an infographic or a visual argument using the research that they have conducted, as well as what they have done during their action plan, so the experiences they've had during this action plan. And the reason I picked the infographic or visual argument is because I want them to kind of see that writing arguments are not only print-based. So we're moving away from the print-based and we're moving into the multimodal public service announcement, which is an argument, and then the infographic or visual argument, that is an argument that is print-based, but it's moving away from just the text. And then they're going to have to do a final reflection. So they're going to have to look at their process log and review it, and then think about what was their expected outcome when they started this project, what was the final outcome, how has that changed, how's that changed in the view of the issue that you research, but also how did that change, within yourself and within your own learning. And did the PSA have the same impact that you intended? And if it did not, what would you do differently next time so that the impact would be there? And if it did, if they think that it did, explain how they would increase the impact of the PSA. And then finally, explain how creating the infographic would help support their argument. So what would they change about the infographic or visual argument the next time they did it? And then finally, they're going to have to do a presentation. And within the presentation, it's going to be kind of like a research symposium where it's going to be in the media center. They're going to have boards set up that shows all of these things. And if I can figure out a way, maybe rent the iPads that we have at school so they can show their projects and their multimodal videos. I'm going to invite the parents, community members, faculty, administration, anyone that will come. And then, below that are all my standards, the due dates. And then one thing that I just got approval from the admin, probably it's 10:30 on Thursday right now, so probably 10 minutes ago, is that the students are going to be able to help create their own rubric for this. So, I will have them look at this and then kind of draft a couple of rubrics and collaborate on a couple of rubrics. And then as a class, they'll come together and create one rubric. And then after they create that one rubric, I'll come back and tweak it with whatever's necessary. And then we'll finalize that as a class. So that's why the rubric's blank. But I'm excited that they are going to get to create their own rubric. So if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know, because I am definitely doing this project and I'm going to be doing it within the next couple of weeks. So thank you very much.